Hello all. Today we'll talk about very high rated topic in service now called business rules. Okay, this is really I can say the topic that plays a vital role to make service now a service now, right? So why it is because whenever we design a software or when we design a normal form, right, we always try to add lot of validations. So validation we do in the different layer. One is like a UI layer, other one is the back end like a DB layer and all. So UI side we can have a validation in service now using the technology like client script, UI policy, right? But the when we try to do some data validation or we want to impose certain rules on a table, right? That can be done with the help of business rules. Whenever a record is being inserted or updated or deleted, we want to add some restriction or we want to uh, uh, put some rule. Those all can be achieved easily using the business rules. Very, very powerful tool. Let us try to explore that. How can we use uh, for our use case? So the use case we're trying to solve today, if you are already following the session that is being uh, already shared, we are trying to create one application using the app in the studio, and the table we are using is the leave management system, right? So for this system, we'll try to add a rule like if the same employee is trying to apply the leave, right? And if there is already leave applied, I mean the record is already in table with the status called applied, we will not allow it, right? So duplicate check for the employee with the same status called applied. So this rule we will try to perform, and if this happens, we will not insert the record. Rather, we'll throw an error message telling that there is already one uh, applied leave present in the table or something like that. We'll think through, right? So to do that, let us come to a navigator and go to business rules. You can choose from anywhere, but let's choose from system definition because it will be without a filter. So come here and click on new. So this business rule form is populated. Now here we have to write a name. So we'll write like duplicate check for leave, right? Table, we have to enter the table on which you want to perform the rule check, right? The leave management system is the one that we are targeting. Of course, the application we are using is the same that we did create. Active true, we have to choose advanced if you want to write some script into that. And we're trying to do that because though it's a very low code, but uh, at certain moment to solve certain use case, we need to write some minimal script in JavaScript format. I will see that. We'll talk about each line over there and we'll make sure that it's not very complex. All right. So if you come to the below screen, we have a trigger. So when do you want this rule to run, right? The trigger would be insert update, and this new trigger being added only for the advanced case, delete and query. So for our use case, ideally insert and update should solve whenever a record being inserted or updated for the user, we want to perform this business rule. Of course, the when means before insertion happen, we want to format. Let's not add anything here. Simply come to advanced. Advanced is somewhere we is a section where we can write our script, and this is a script editor given by ServiceNow. Here we have a different thing like syntax check or maximize it or everything indentation, all things can achieve in this editor. So let's add. So first thing is, as I told you, when an employee trying to apply the leave, at that moment we want to check. So there is an object already available called current. So this current object will have the access to all the field of the table. Like when the record comes, right? So for this table, that particular record, I mean to say, when I say current dot imply, they should be able to return the data for the imply field in the record that comes from the UI, right? So if I put current dot status, it should be applied like that. So we'll have a variable emp can use current dot imply. So current dot imply. So this is the name of the field, right? So if you see this, this is the label, but we need to provide the backend name, internal name. That's it. All right. So we have a variable emp with the current imply. Now, what we want to achieve, we want to do, we want to abort the action. If the duplicate imply record is coming for the applied status, we'll try to abort the action. So for aborting action, we have current dot set abort action, right? So simply if you put true, the action will be aborted, right? Now, with this action, we want to also generate one error message to the user, right? So that once they apply the leave, they should see the message that, okay, because of this reason, leave will not be applied. So we can put, there's an object called GS that's available in server side. And all the script that we write under the business rule will be server side scripting. That's why we're able to interact with the database very easily. So we add GS dot add error message, right? And here we add it like a message like you already have uh, open leave application or waiting for approval, something like that, right? If already there's approval, we'll not try to add. All right, so this is done. Now this is the end result. But in what case we want to do this? We want to do if there is already record with this imply and also the status is applied. For that, let us create. Okay, now we have to talk with database, right? We have to perform a filter with database. For that, in server side, very easy. ServiceNow is giving you access to uh, the class called glide record, right? So glide record is the medium by which you can query the database. Also, you can perform the insert, update, delete. But for our use case, we want to first do the query. Let us create one variable gr equal to new glide record, right? Glide record. Here we have to provide the table name basically. Table name, you can provide either the name of the table, that this one, or else the best way would be using the object current only. Current dot, there is method called get table name. Get table name, right? So that's method we can use to give you get table name is a method to give you the table name directly. So no need to provide the R. Right. Now what we want is we want to perform a filter. So the imply that's coming from the UI if there's already record project with that. So like in the normal database query, you perform select a star from imply with name is equal to something, right? Like that, we want to perform gr dot, there's a add query method. So this method we have to filter. So filter means first what column we want to filter with? The imply, right? And what value want to filter with is the emp that coming from the UI current dot imply. So that is my first filtration. I am telling that we need to also check if the leave is in applied status. Means if there is already leave that is approved, of course imply can apply again. So we want to get rid of that case. We want to check whether duplicate record is present with the same imply with applied status. So gr dot add query. We have a field called status, and the field value we want to check with is apply. Again, you can refer the table. So we have a status. I'm talking about internal name, and the value is applied. All right. Now we have to query the table. So gr dot. So after the query is done, we have to check whether there is already record present with this filtration. Gr dot next. So this is a pointer to database record, and if there is a record present, then only gr dot next will return true. And for that, we want to within that only will perform these two actions. So if the record present, we will not allow add any again the record. So this two method thing will go inside this one. That's all we want to do, right? So we want to make sure that for the same user there should not be any duplicate record, means same imply and applied etc should not be there. So that's all. If very simple. If you see again the script, uh, it is not the complex. The two line that came automatically. What we have added is we took the imply field value, and with that we are filtering the table. After this is done, we are checking if the record is project. We are aborting the insertion and throwing the error message. That's done. Our script is saved. So now to test it whether it's working or not, we have to apply the leave. Right. So apply the leave should be with the same imply like test imply. Then only we'll able to see the error, right? So for that we have to with the test imply. So the same step. And now we'll go to portal. This already I covered how did I create the record producer for applying leave. Applied for any table insertion updation. This is a very generic way of using the business rule. So we have a form that basically the record producer called apply leave. And if I try to apply leave because I'm a test employee, and by default status will be applied only. So if it simply we try to apply with the start date or end date, ideally it should not allow me and should throw me the error message. So if I click on submit, see you already have a leave application awaiting for approval, and that's been done. And I will not able to refresh this page because I am as a test employee. But if I impersonate back as an admin, you will see that the new record is not being inserted into the table uh, since we have added the restriction. Let's refresh this. Okay, the no new record came. Now we'll just test one more thing. Let us suppose we added the rule same imply, right? But let's suppose the admin, right? Admin should able to submit the leave. We have we are checking the duplicate. So we tried with same imply, it did not work. Let us check whether admin is able to uh, do that because there is no record for admin. Let us do that and see that this should be successful, and we'll try to verify this use case also. Then only we'll make sure that our use case is working fine. And simply if I apply, it should not restrict me and leave application should be successful. And that happened. To see that, if I refresh the page, we have one record for admin, right? So we able to uh, solve our use case using the simple scripting uh, by the tool called business rule. That's very powerful tool. That's all for this session. Uh, Hope you liked it, and we'll see the next topic maybe next day. Thank you, everyone.